past weekend, your team traveled on the road to NYU and Brandeis University. Lost both games. I'm sure that was disappointing. Let's begin with the first game versus NYU. It was a seesaw battle from start to finish. Your team had a chance to win it at the end or time to score. What are your thoughts on the game?
Well, I felt like it was a game where, and you use the term seesaw, they hit the shot with 1 minute to go that really kind of put us on our heels. We were running out of time at that point. It was whoever made that shot was going to put the other people on the other team on their heels, and that's essentially what happened to us. Is they ran a play, kid made a three, there were 45 seconds to go, and now all of a sudden we're scrambling. And we got fouled, we hit 2 free throws, then we had to foul, and it just kind of went from there. The disappointing thing to me was I felt as we were playing the game that we could have been more in control of it than we were based on how we were playing. I thought we were playing well enough to have more control over the score of the game than we did to have a little more of a lead. Things like that. Now NYU played very well and they deserve credit for some of that, but I felt like we didn't do a good job of taking a lot of things away from them.
Jake Pancras had a pretty good game. He scored a season best 19 points and dished out 5 assists. What did you like best about his game?
You know, I think Jake has not shot the ball well this year, as well as he's capable of. And this past weekend he did that. Now he's played very, very well all year and done a lot of things for us, but he just hasn't shot the ball real well this year. And this past weekend that came along. And, you know, that's part of what I said. Is I felt like we played well enough to win those games, and he was part of that.
Yeah, let's move on to your game versus Brandeis, which you guys lost also. It was close early on, but towards the end of the half, Brandeis was able to develop a 10-point lead. What was the difference in your team's play in the first half and later on?
Really, I mean, they had the one spurt. That was the difference in the game, and I think the biggest difference there was we got in some foul trouble and we got tired. You know, our depth wasn't there. We had 2 guys pick up their second foul in the first half and had to sit. And I think that had a big influence on them making that little bit of a run. And we came along and did some great things in the second half, but we could just never get over the hump.
Okay. This game, John Casella was the outstanding performer. He scored 25 points, knocked down 5 of the 7 3-points in the second half to try to keep the team in the game. What are your thoughts on his play?
Well, it was the same as Jake on Friday and Sunday. I thought, you know, John and Jake's play, but we should win a game. If they shoot like that, we should win. And we weren't tough enough to kind of gut that out a little bit. In the past, if we had shot the ball like that, we would have won that game. And I just think we need to get a little tougher on the road. We need to play defense a little bit better on the road. I mean, it was 28-3 free throw count. I mean, that catches up to you a little bit. And that's going to happen some. You've got to be tough enough to overcome that. We're just not there yet as a team.
There's three games left on the season. Your team stands at 5-6. Your chances of winning the UAA championship will probably diminish with losses. However, you still have three games left. What do you look to accomplish in these 5 games?
2 things. Jake Pancratz, John Kinsella, Mark Kopolewski, and John Benelli. I want them to walk away from this season feeling good. I want them to end strong. I want our team to play well, and I want their careers to end on an up note and to feel good about it because they deserve that. And then secondly, we need to do some things as a program to get better in the future, to put ourselves where we're in a position where we are going to the last 3 games competing for the UA championship, unlike this year. And I want to start making some progress towards that also.
What are those things that you need to do?
We need to be tougher. We just need to be a little grittier, a little harder nosed. One of the things that happens, Chika, is, you know, sometimes when you recruit guys, they come in prepared to be tough, hard-nosed college basketball players. Not many of them, but some do. For example, when Jake came in, he was ready to go from the start. Most guys have to learn that over the span of their career. I think John Benelli and Mark and John Kinsella have really developed into really tough, hard-nosed basketball players. The younger guys in our program need to make that progress for us to get better, and I think they're capable of that. It just takes some time, because none of them are like Jake. None of them came in really ready to go. They had a lot of things to learn, and I think they've made great progress over 2 years. But we need make some more so next year we're competing for the UA championship.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Chika.